Say it with me, for we walk by faith, not by sight.
Hey guys, my name's John. The channel is Cheap Old Cars and Corners. So, I am going to talk a little bit about this car and a little bit about the new plans for my channel. I have been treating my channel, I'm going to show you myself again. I've been treating my channel like I've got a lot of viewers. Like it's kind of a story and I'm progressing through, I'm working on doing this to the car and this to the car and then this is what happens at the end. But I've got less than 600 subscribers. So I don't think it's time to do that yet. I don't think it's time to treat it like it's got a bunch of viewers that are watching every video because I don't, okay? But I want the channel to grow. I want it to be big. I want it to be more than it is. So I need exposure. I need people to see this stuff. So I'm going to start posting more videos that have less kind of story big content and more kind of rehashing the same things, because I'm going to be working through things and working on projects and getting the cars done, but not everybody's seeing every video, so I'm going to have to rehash some stuff and go over some things. So let's just go over this blue Bullitt, which is kind of the main car on my channel. I have 4 Mustangs and 2 GMT 800 trucks. This is the main car. This is Traveler, its name. Okay, I named my cars after horses. This car has been through a lot of iterations with me. I bought it almost completely stock. It had an MGW shifter, aftermarket radio, and Flowmaster mufflers. Other than that, it was completely stock. The blue Bullitt's kind of cool. Not everyone is into the Bullitt package, and I get that. But to me, I really like the Bullitt package. It has no scoops. It has these rockers that kind of tuck under the car. Little mud flaps. This one's kind of broke off. And then the C-pillars do this. They do this turn thing instead of the normal new edge ones just kind of roll down. These come back and down. The same ones are on the Mach 1s as well. It's really similar to the 94 to 98 pieces. They used the same machine, but they tweaked it ever so slightly. I don't know what tweaks they did. I just know that they updated that machine a little bit, but these are very, very similar to the 94 to 98 C-pillar covers. Another thing about the Bullitt, no rear spoiler. I think that's pretty cool. Now, I've done a bunch of different springs on this car. There's some springs over here. There's some springs back over there. We can come up here. You can see there's tons of springs up here. There's springs in that white box. Lots of different stuff. I've been through tons of different iterations to try to get this thing to be what I want it to be, and I'm getting close, okay? It's really close. Right now, I've got H&R SS rear springs, which I like, but they sit a little bit low. The car did sit low on H&R SS all the way around, so I did Maximum Motorsports rear lower control arms that I could bring the rear up a bit. The front was still kind of low, and every now and then I scraped exhaust or my subframe connectors, the bolt-on subframe connectors that came on these cars. I'd scraped those on some stuff. I actually have weld-on subframe connectors I need to put on soon. But I don't really know how to weld, so gonna have to do some practice. That's gonna be interesting. Anyway, thankfully it'll be under the car. As long as I get good penetration, don't blow holes in the factory sheet metal, I'll be just fine. So the iteration that I've got the car in now, kind of how it's set up now, is Maximum Motorsports front coilover conversion kit on Bilsteins, which I can't go super stiff on the springs with that. I got 275s right now, and they're better than the H&R SS. It both rides better and has less body roll than the H&R SS, but I could probably still go a little bit stiffer and be happy with it. I don't know yet, but I've got Maximum Motorsports tubular low control arms. I'm going to do more in the future. We're going to do their K-member and their solid steering rack mounts, and then their steering shaft that doesn't have the rag joint in it and all that stuff. Going to do that to the front. That'll actually take extra weight out of the front, which will be good. I've already taken some weight out of the front with the coilovers and control arms. I'm going to do a lightweight battery too. These seats got Corbeau RRX seats. I know they're a little like different color, but I like the red and blue. I think it looks cool. Momo steering wheel, mainly just for fun, but the smaller diameter does increase the effort slightly to turn, which makes it feel more connected. Car's also got an 0304 Cobra front bumper. I've got an 01 Cobra bumper right up here that I'm probably going to paint and put on the car at some point and just have them to where I can swap them out. I like being able to swap stuff. I love how modular these cars are and how you can change stuff out. My tool room's a giant mess right now. Please don't pay attention to that. But I've got the factory bumper right up there, no scratches, in perfect shape. And I didn't take off the mounts on the sides. I actually got new ones for that bumper. And then that one's got its own mounts too, so I can get that one painted blue and then I can just swap them out and have a different look. So that's really cool. Now, if you know about swapping out to Cobra bumpers on these, you might say, oh, hey, what about your fog lights? Because those are 2 different connectors. I already worked that out. I made a jumper harness that you plug the old connector into, and then there's a new connector on the other side for the 0304 lights. So I can just take that out and plug the original connector into the 01 Cobra one, and it's good to go. So here's the next big thing. Here's kind of the last of the suspension outside of, obviously, that's gonna stiffen the car up. Cobra IRS. This is out of an 01 so it has the 31 spline axles, but they're not as strong as a 0304. But I could easily swap to those, so that's fine, whatever. It's got the Maximum Motorsports crossbar in the front, better bushings in the front and rear. It still has the factory rear cover. I might do the Ford Motorsports one at some point, but not quite yet. It already came with better bushings on the sway bars, upgraded new bushings there. And it also came with new knuckles that had the new cross-axis joints in them. They're in good shape. That's great. Okay, what I'm adding to it is I've done Prothane bushings in the mounting points for the frame, and I'm doing Prothane, the red, polyurethane bushings on the control arms. I'm working on that now. So, is Prothane as stiff as Delrin? Is Delrin better? Yes, Delrin's better. How much better? 33%. I can tell you that because there's a guy who measured these and measured the Delrin ones with a durometer, which tells the hardness of bushings and stuff, right? Or rubbers. So the Delrin is 33% stiffer, but it's like 300% more cost. And let me tell you what, that extra cost for what you get doesn't really make sense to me because I'm trying to do this on a budget. It's cheap old cars, right? So yeah, I'm going with Prothane. So I'll get the control arms done. That'll be pretty much all there. And then it's going to be ready to go in the car. That's actually why the car's sitting here like this, kind of crooked in my garage, because it'll have room to get this on my jack under it and all the things. So just about ready to start on this. That's going to be freaking awesome. Once this is in with the 500-pound rear coilovers on the Bilsteins, I'll see how I feel about the car at that point. I might actually want to go stiffer with it. A problem I do run into with the Bilsteins, and I don't know if this is a problem, it will probably be fine, but I can only go up to 525 in the rear. I got 500 pounds, but if I go up to the 525, which is as stiff a spring as I can go on those Bilsteins, then I can't go up to as stiff as I could go on the front. So I've got two 75-pound coilovers in the front right now. They're good. They're better than an H&R Super Sport, probably closer to an H&R Race. I could go up to 325s in the front, but to go to the equivalent of what I'd need with the 325 in the front would be like 550 or 575 in the back. So I can't quite do that. But if I end up going to 525 in the rear, I'll do 300 in the front, and that'll be as much as I can do on these dampers. I just bought these Bilsteins, $800, so I'm not right now wanting to go buy Coney Yellows, which I can go stiffer, or even like Maximum Motorsports, better, stiffer valves, shocks, whatever. I'm not really interested in that right now, so this is where I'm at. With the IRS, for very cheap, I got these Cherry Bomb glass packs and these parts of the exhaust system over here. I've been slowly sanding on them. I got to get them cleaned up some so they look a little bit better, but I got this exhaust system for like $100, and this has a lot of brackets on it, but I got myself a little welder to do the subframe connector, so I'll probably clean this up some and maybe put some different mufflers in. Not sure yet. Yeah, guys, that's where we're at with this car. And this video, honestly, it's going to come out today. I'm filming it right now. It's going to come out. I think, I see so many people talk about quality, but I try to do less videos with better quality, and they get no views. So I'm trying something else. I'm gonna make a bunch of quick videos, and they're gonna be a video every day, and maybe I'm just gonna try to flood it with exposure and see what happens. Because I gotta try something. If you wanna watch an old kind of nerdy fat guy with a big old gray beard talk about cars and drive and have some fun, it might be the channel for you.